Yo, what's up? We are talking about passport bros and the 5 things you didn't know about it. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. If you're new, please subscribe, hit that notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, let's get into it. Passport bros and the 5 things you didn't know. So I first want to thank one of my subscribers for asking me to do a video on this topic. And by the way, guys, drop a comment if you'd like me to do a video on whatever topics that come to your mind. Happy to do it and do the research. So I researched this topic. I am not a passport bro, but I'm very aware of it. And I have been to Colombia. So for those that don't know what passport bros is, passport bros are men that are fed up with Western cultured women. So, Western women, modern women that are not traditional, they're not feminine, they don't want to be wives. And one YouTuber mentioned this. He says, you know, they've come from a famine of femininity, right? I love that. So these guys, these passport bros, what they're doing is they're going to another country, primarily countries like Philippines, Thailand, Dominican Republic, Brazil, and Colombia. I'm sure there's more, but those are the main ones. Um, to to find a wife, you know, or find love, whatever. So I have not been to any of those countries except for Colombia. My ex-wife was from Colombia. I've been to Colombia twice. I went to Medellin and I've been to Cartagena. Um, the women are beautiful there, obviously. A couple things that all these countries have in common is the women obviously are very traditional. They're beautiful. Um, there's usually a socially accepted age gap, so these women, the younger women, it's an in Colombia specifically, it was an honor, and I heard this from families there, where there would be men with an 18-year-old girlfriend, and the guy's like 42 years of age, right? So to them, it's it's culturally accepted, primarily because the families of the women prefer that the woman is with a man that can take care of them. And usually that's an older guy, right? So larger age gaps in relationships are much more accepted in these countries. And I'll mention the countries again. So in the Philippines, Thailand, Dominican Republic, Brazil, and Colombia specifically. So so these guys, these passport bros, are thinking, you know what? I'm fed up with Western women and their attitudes, and they don't want to be traditional. So screw it. I'm going to go over and live in these other countries and find myself love, find myself a wife, whatever. All right. But the 5 things you didn't know, and again, I wanted to research this topic for all of you. So the 5 things, number one is these women are savage. Okay. And I'll give you some examples. They, the amount of horror stories that other YouTubers have shared, like these men go over there, right? And they're thinking, oh, they're nice, they're cute, they're young, they're traditional, and they are ruthless motherfuckers. Like, I've been dating for 2 years now. I'm now live in Atlanta. I was married for 20 years. And dating Canada, United States, the women are savage already. And they do not have the same empathy that men have. So in these other cultures, well, you're walking into a situation where you don't even really know the culture. But what I've heard, especially in the Asian ones and in South, so all of them, is these women are savage. And the horror stories with men getting robbed, men getting drugged. So they will meet someone, they will discuss terms or whatever financial arrangement where they go back to their place, and then they don't feel so good, they fall asleep, and all of a sudden all their stuff is fucking gone, right? So this is a very, very common thing. A lot of it is set up. by drug lords, whatever. It is nasty. Like you have no idea. We have no idea typically what it's like to be in a third world country and the desperation they have for money, right? So number one is the the women are absolutely savage, and so a lot of people researching passport bro videos, and they're thinking, oh, I'm going to go to Thailand, whatever, and going to find love. Well, they it's a rude awakening when they get there, and then they realize how fucking savage these women are. So that's number one. Number two, which I already mentioned earlier, that the reason why passport bros are going over there is to find love, find a wife, traditional person, right? So number three is, which I was curious about, well, what the fuck do these guys do for work? Right? So they just like save a bunch of money and then go there for work. Like, how does that all pan out? So a couple things is some of the countries will allow you to be a nomad or an expat for $10,000. You can have a visa and then just keep extending that visa, but you need to have a regular source of income. So many of these videos that I've seen online, specifically Thailand and Philippines, is it's white guys, older guys, and I'm thinking that they have some kind of a pension, savings, whatever. So that's one. Number two is usually they have some kind of remote job. That's the younger guys. So they're able to earn an income being remote. My big dream, by the way, is to be successful enough with this YouTube channel, where this YouTube channel is providing me with an amazing lifestyle financially. And so at the moment, I don't have any desire to live in these other countries because they are third world countries. But for income, they're relying on their savings, their pension, or it's a remote job. So number four, right? The things that you didn't know, and I'm going to quote another YouTuber. I can't recall the YouTuber's name, but the YouTuber said, all the guys that she sees are fat, broke, and don't deserve a traditional wife in Western culture. Ouch. And that's why they're going into these other cultures. So, number four, that's one of the common things I've seen where you see these like walking tours and somebody's walking through where the bars are in Philippines and Thailand, whatever. And I'm like, wow, they're all white, old, fat guys. Right? So it's not really far off. And I will say, man, like Western women are a lot more particular with the men that they're attracted to. And us guys have to step up our game, man. Like we have to get to the gym, we have to take care of ourselves, like grooming, all these things. And okay, maybe in these other cultures the women are a lot more forgiving. But this last thing, which is a great segue, is yes, these other women in these women in these other cultures and countries might be more forgiving, but this is the fifth thing and the last thing. I feel like I've saved the best for last because you need to know this. All the men are sugar daddies. Right. At the end of the day, these young women want to be taken care of and they want somebody who will provide financial support. So if you don't really have enough money to support yourself, oh, good fucking luck going to these other countries thinking you're going to find a wife and she's going to be with you if you can't even afford to take care of her. So at the end of the day, all these passport bros are sugar daddies, and that's the reality. They're not really talking about it much on these videos, but eventually I'm seeing this and seeing that, and I'm like, they're all sugar daddies at the end of the day. Like, guys, you need to accept that. If you want a young, beautiful woman, you have to pay for it. You can't get into a new car or a luxury car and not expect to pay for it, right? So, it, right, you're going to pay more for that. Obviously, in Western culture, you'll pay less in these other countries. But I feel like a lot of these men that are going to these other countries are expecting to find love and expecting to find marriage on the cheap. And that's not the case. Like, these women are very traditional. In fact, many of them don't even want to work. They just want to stay home, be a housewife, cook. But you better be taking care of them. You better be buying the food and everything else. So I'll leave you with that. Let me know if you'd like me to do more videos on this topic, on passport bros, and what you think in the comments. So until next time,